Breathing in, breathing out. I am water reflecting what is real, what is true, and I feel there is space deep inside of me. I am free, I am free, I am free.
So the next song we're going to sing together is called I Have Arrived, I Am Home. So the theme of this retreat is at home in the world. So when we sing this song, try to establish yourself in the present moment so you can truly arrive at your true home, bring your mind back to your body, arrive at this present moment.
I have arrived, I am home in the here and in the now. I have arrived, I am home in the here and in the now. I am solid, I am free. I am solid, I am free. In the ultimate I dwell. In the ultimate I dwell.
One more time.
I have arrived, I am home in the here and in the now. I have arrived, I am home in the here and in the now. I am solid, I am free. I am solid, I am free. In the ultimate I dwell. In the ultimate I dwell.
The next song we're going to sing together is called Happiness is Here and Now. So when you sing this song, really feel the happiness flourish in your mind, in your heart, and let it manifest with you during this retreat and also after this retreat. Happiness is here and now. I have dropped my worries. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. No longer in a hurry. Happiness is here and now. I have dropped my worries. Somewhere to go, something to do. But I don't need to hurry. One more time. Happiness is here and now. I have dropped my worries. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. No longer in a hurry. Happiness is here and now. I have dropped my worries. Somewhere to go, something to do. But I don't need to hurry. Thank you for practicing with us. So, and you can practice singing meditation more during the Dhamma sharing sessions with your facilitators and the friends who are in the same group with you. So now I would like to invite the organizing team of the retreat to have a short introduction about this retreat. Thank you.
Good afternoon from Deer Park, California. Deer Park Monastery, California. So I make sure that I'm looking at you. Hello. So I would like to welcome everybody online and also in person here at Deer Park to join us for the first online international. Move over, okay. Okay. Yeah, so this is the first online international retreat hosted at Deer Park this year. Oh, this year, okay. Sorry. It's been a long time that we stopped doing Zoom, so it takes us a while to get used to using Zoom. And we are so happy that we have like 330.
56.
Oops, sorry. 356 retreatants who signed up for the retreat. Yeah, we give flowers. So I'd like to pass the microphone on to my sister, Sister Nghiem, who can give us some statistics about the retreat.
Thank you so much, dear Sister Nghiem, dear beloved community, dear friends from all over the world. Officially welcome to our At Home in the World International Online Retreat. Let us all join our palms as a way to greet one another. Bring our mind and body in the here and in the now. Perhaps you might wonder, why am I the shortest up here? No, I'm just kidding. Perhaps you are wondering why we are standing up here, the four of us. We are part of the organizing team. We have Brother Fablu at this moment. We don't know where he is, but you will see him in the retreat. Standing next to me is Sister Nghiem, Sister True Spirit, Brother Namshak, Brother Five Colors, and Brother Nhật Ấn, One Seal, and my name is Sister Nghiem. It's so nice to see names in different languages in this retreat, and I'd like to share with you some joyful numbers as we're about to begin. As Sister Nghiem shared, we have a total of 356 retreatants in Americas, which include North America and South Americas, 310. Asia, we have 16. Africa, we have 1. Australia, 3. Europe, we have 25. For our friends in Europe, it is now, I think, midnight your time. So thank you for staying up and be with us. We have 36 Order of Interbeing members, friends, who received the 14 mindfulness trainings. We have 17 BIPOC friends, those who signed up for Dharma sharing. BIPOC stands for Black, Indigenous, and People of Color. 26 friends signed up for LGBTQIA+ group, which stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex, and asexual. We have 44 young friends, ages 18 to 35. 23 friends signed up for healthcare professionals, and 12 friends signed up for educators. Do these numbers give you happiness? If they do, please give flowers. And we hope that all of you will be able to join us live for all the sessions, if your schedule permit. And so now we would like to invite our 2 Dharma teachers who give orientation today. Before that, we'd like to invite Brother Min An to introduce our beloved Dharma teachers. Thank you, dear beloved community.
Dear community, it's so wonderful to see you all. Thank you for joining us again. As Sister Nghiem mentioned, my name is Brother Min An, and I'm introducing all of our presenters for this retreat. So it's my great pleasure this afternoon to introduce to you the presenters of our orientation, and that's Sister Nghiem and Brother Phuong. So Sister Nghiem grew up in central Vietnam. She was ordained in 2006 at the age of 18. And she has been living at Deer Park for almost 2 years now, having spent most of her monastic life at Plum Village, Thailand. In her free time, she enjoys reading, especially the Jataka tales, which are the past lives stories of the Buddha. And she's a very diligent sister as well. In fact, just a few hours ago, I saw her in the kitchen washing pots and pans. So she's doing the orientation, but she's also doing pot washing today. So you may, who knows where she will turn up next during this retreat. So she's here with Brother Phuong, who's standing behind me. Brother Phuong, Brother Direction, was ordained in 2015 in Plum Village, France, and he moved to Deer Park last autumn. He grew up in the north of Italy, and the brothers here at Deer Park are always very happy when he's cooking. And in his unscheduled time, he's typically enjoying the mountain or he's in the sound studio working on a new song. He always also takes an active role in taking care of Plum Village's Italian YouTube channel. So, dear Sangha, please join me in welcoming Sister Nghiem and Brother Phuong.
So, dear respected Thai, dear siblings, dear friends, this is a moment of joy, a moment of happiness, having the opportunity of coming together and sharing these coming days together and supporting each other in the practice. And I feel very grateful for this opportunity to be together. Here in Deer Park at the moment is very cozy. I see my siblings and friends here with us, and I see a beautiful smile. It's very cozy and nourishing. And yeah, maybe we can start this orientation with listening to the sound of the bell, just to give us the opportunity of coming back to the breath, in contact with our body, and just enjoying the in-breath and the out-breath as it is. So, dear friends, welcome again. And while I was walking down from my room to the meditation hall, and I was thinking that more than orientation, it would be nice to call this session as a celebration. So to having the time and the space of coming together, connecting with each other, and nourishing each other with our presence. So even though we are all in different rooms, and maybe different countries and different space, I am very aware that our presence is real, and so I'm really sure that we can really feel nourished from each other's presence during this retreat. And I remember last online retreat that I have joined was during the pandemic. And I remember I have such a good memories of these online retreats. They were very real, very transformative, and very healing. And I recently moved here to Deer Park. Before I was in Plum Village in France. So I arrived here when the schedule of 2024 was already done. And when I saw the online retreat, I was very, very happy. And so while I'm talking, if you see me moving my hands, it's because I'm Italian. It's in my DNA, just moving and expressing myself through my body as well. So it's just part of me. It's also wish to be able to speak as clear as possible because I'm still kind of practicing my English. So I hope to be able to be as clear as possible. And my body's also helped me with that intention. And Yeah, celebrating this opportunity that we are having of coming together and supporting each other. The Buddha said more than one time that we need friends on our spiritual journey. Without friends, everything will be difficult, more difficult. And so during these coming days, we have the opportunity to feel the connection with friends and the nourishment that comes through that relationship and support. So we can celebrate sharing this time with a lot of friends together, a kind of reunion, celebrating this reunion of a family. From the screen, I see a lot of familiar faces. Last few years, I was able to travel through different countries, offering retreats in South America, Europe as well, Canada. And I see many faces that I met during these trips. And it's very nourishing to see all of you and to reconnect with all of you. And so during this session, we will try to share some practices that we can try to apply in these coming days, and practices that will help us to come back home. To come back to home can be seen as coming back to the present moment, coming back to our body, coming back to our breath, and coming back to what is alive in this very moment. So oftentimes we get distracted by many things, and our mind sometimes like to think quite a lot. So we spend a lot of time in thinking and losing ourselves in the past or in the future, planning. And so maybe during this retreat, the aspiration can be to transform that habit energy of thinking and allow ourselves to come back, keep coming back to this very moment. And we can use many different tools to do that. And one of the tools is mindful breathing. I remember once during one of the trips that we used to do as a community outside of our monastery. Once we were in Italy with a group of monastics, and so every time we travel, we try to offer as much as possible our presence to the place where we are going. And meaning we try to offer many retreats and mindfulness days, but from time to time we try to keep some space between activity just to allow ourselves to refresh and rest, and also to get in touch with the place that we are visiting, to get in touch with the culture, to get in touch with people in different ways. And one day we had a lazy day. We call it lazy day, which is a day without formal activities. And we used that day to go to visit the city. And at the time we were in Pisa. Pisa is a famous city because of this leaning tower, which is a tower that is not like this, is leaning in one side. So while they were building the tower, the ground cracked. And so the idea was to build that like all the other towers, but somehow during the process of building, the tower start leaning in one side. And I remember, so this tower is in one square, which is actually very beautiful. And as soon as you step in the square, you see from far this tower that is leaning in one side. And many people go to that square just to see that tower. And but in the group there was one sister that she felt extremely uncomfortable to see this tower that was leaning, because according to her perceptions and according to the way she liked to see reality, the tower should be like this, should not be leaning. So as soon as she saw this tower leaning, she felt extremely uncomfortable. And she was having a lot of mental formation, even thinking how I can put this tower back. There is a way to do that. She was really thinking in that direction. And all this mental formation was creating also a lot of uncomfortable feelings within herself. And a lot of restlessness, agitation, frustration. And but luckily she could recognize all this experience that she was having just by seeing something that it didn't fit to her reality or way of seeing things. And when she could recognize this experience, she right away came back to the breath as a way to calm down all this experience, strong experience that she was having at the moment. And this mental formation, these feelings, these emotions were pulling her away from a stable and peaceful space. So as soon as she came back to the breath, she was able slowly to calm down all these inner movements, unpleasant. And as soon she was able to calm down everything, thanks to the breath, just coming back to the breath is such a simple things, but so powerful. It can really change the experience that sometimes we can have in life. And as soon as she was able to calm down, she started actually to see and accept realities as it was. So she was able to see that actually the tower, even if in the beginning didn't fit to her perception of reality, was that tower was very beautiful and in her way was unique. So she could see the uniqueness of the tower without the need of change it. And this, for me, was very profound teaching because sometimes we struggle to adjust things as we want without being able actually to embrace it as they are fully. And sometimes we do also with ourselves. If there is something that makes us feel uncomfortable, sometimes we have a tendency of wanting to adjust, to cut, and to, instead of just creating the space to accept what is present in that moment. And sometimes the practice is just being able to create this space to accept what is there. And so for me it was very profound teaching, this experience that the sister went through that day. And all of this could happen just to the practice of mindful breathing. Just coming back, just let go everything and coming back to the in-breath and to the out-breath. Thanks to this practice, she was able to calm her feelings, her emotions, and to create space to change perception and to see that at the end of the day, everything is beautiful as it is. There is no need to change or to... Sometimes we enter in a fight because we don't like something. We even get to a strong fight because we don't like what we see. And so I found this practice of mindful breathing is very powerful to change that habit of fighting against what we perceive. And one beautiful thing of mindful breathing that is always available. So during this retreat, we're going to have some practice sessions where we're going to practice together mindful breathing, such as sitting meditation, total relaxation. But mindful breathing is something that is available all the time. I remember our teacher used to suggest us to put something in the pocket. So in the monastery, we have a bell. From time to time, we invite the bell. And the bell is a sign for us that helping us, remind us to come back to the breath, because it's something we forget to do. But when we're outside, we don't have the opportunity to listen to the bell. So our teacher used to suggest us to put something in the pocket, a stone or something. And when we touch this, when we put our hands in the pocket and we touch these things, we remember to come back to the in-breath and to the out-breath. So this is a practice that we can do whenever we feel a need of take care of something, some strong emotions or some strong mental formations. But we can also do when actually we don't have to take care of something. We want just to take some time to enjoying the feeling of being alive, the feeling of coming back to the body, coming back in touch to the present moment and to the beauties that are around us. So mindful breathing can be practiced when, to take care of something, but also to nourish something that we feel happy to nourish. And this is one of the practice, one of the core practice of Plum Village tradition, and maybe now I will pass the microphone to my sister, and she will share with us a few more practice that we will practice together in the coming days. Thank you.
So, dear respected Thầy, dear brothers, sisters, and our friends, once again, welcome everyone to online retreat at home in the world. It's so wonderful to have you with us, and with the help of modern technology, with the help of organizing teams, they work so hard for this retreat, and so that we are able to stay connected, to be healed and nourished together. I'm so grateful for that. And I hope that you will enjoy and experience a lot of peace, joy, and smile and healing during this retreat. And now I would like to share about the practice of sitting meditation and then walking meditation. So in this retreat, at 4:45 a.m. in US is 7:45 p.m. in Asia. We will have a session of sitting meditation for 30 or 45 minutes. So many of us spend a lot of time sitting, too much time. We sit at our jobs, we sit at our computers, and we sit at our cars, right? So in Plum Village, sitting means to sit in such a way that we enjoy sitting, to sit in a relaxed way with our mind awake, calm, and clear. So nowadays, many of us keep trying to do more and more. We do things because we think we need to, because we want to make money, accomplish something, take care of others, or make our lives and our world better. But sometimes we are carried away by them, and we are not be able to come back to take care of ourselves. So sitting meditation is a way for us to return home and give full attention and care to ourselves. So it is important that we are comfortable in our sitting meditation. And if we have a physical limitation that make it difficult for us to sit on the cushion for 30 or 45 minutes, we can sit on a chair. And we may like to experiment with different ways to sit so that we can determine what position best supports our sitting meditation. And but no matter what position we sit in, we make sure that our spine is straight. Our back, neck, and head should be straight, but not rigid. They should be relaxed so that the sitting can be pleasant. And so if we sit in a chair like me, be sure that our feet are flat on the floor or on a mat, and use a cushion under our feet if the seat is a bit high. And keep our back straight and our hands, rest our hands on our thighs. You can sit like this. And if we sit on a cushion, it is best that we sit on the first one and third part of the cushion, And I think that I would like to invite my sister, Sister Trăng Chùa Xưa. Please come up here to demonstrate about sitting on position. Um, so sitting on this question, it is best that we sit on the first and third part of the question. When we sit like that, so that both sides of our knees are flat on the floor, if possible. And there is a few ways we can do this. We can sit in the full lotus position. With this position, we place our right foot on the top of our left thigh, and we place our left foot on the top of our right thigh like this. And with this position, it may be difficult for someone who is new, and we need to take time to train to do it. And another way, we can sit in the half lotus position. With this position, we only place one foot on the top of our another thigh. Right foot on the top of left thigh, or do opposite. Or we can sit. We can simply sit cross-legged. With this position, is maybe easy for many of us. Or some of us may like to sit in Japanese position. Yeah, we knee on a cushion like this, and keep our back straight, our shoulder relaxed. And with all these positions, we can our hand folded gently in our lap, or we can rest our hands on our knees. And then we close our eyes, or softly, or rest our eyes softly upon a few feet in front of us, like this. And after adjusting our position posture, we come back to follow our breathing. Follow me breathing means, like Brother Phuong already shared, following breathing means to observe, to feel the breath as it actually is. We don't need to control the breath. We just be aware of that. And if our legs or our feet fall asleep or feel hurt during the sitting, we can just adjust our position mindfully. And please wear something loose. Jeans are not a good idea. It's very important for the blood to flow. So thank you, sister. So for tomorrow morning, there will be a session of guided sitting meditation. A brother or sister will do it for us, and we will hear 2 sentences followed by 2 keywords. And the keywords help us to concentrate and invite our mind to practice, not to think about it. And it will be 30 minutes or 45 minutes. So during the sitting meditation, if our mind tends to wander, it's completely natural. It's very human. When we have many things in us, it's very difficult to quiet the mind. We can notice our thoughts or our emotions as they come up, and then gently release them, letting them go. We know that our emotion and our thoughts are like clouds. They come and they leave, and there is no need to push them away, suppress them, or pretend they are not there. And as best we can, we just observe them all with a kind and accepting eyes. And at that moment, we can place our hand on our abdomen and feel the rising and falling. Or we just be aware of our whole body. And we smile to anything that manifests in us. So, being present, recognizing and naming our emotions and our thoughts with mindful breathing will help them calm, help them settle. And sitting is to connect first and foremost with ourselves. We become aware of the state of our body and mind are in, and how our breath is, and knowing what is happening within and around us. And once we are calm, we can see everything more clearly. And when our vision is no longer clouded, we will see with more understanding, love, compassion. And that is when happiness becomes possible. So next, I would like to share about the practice of walking meditation. And before I share about that, I would like to invite all of you to listen one sound of the bell. Please enjoy your breath, enjoy your present with the sound of the bell. So, dear community, whenever we hear about a word meditation, what comes up for us? What body position comes up in us? Sitting, right? But in Plum Village, the practice can take place at any time, in any position. Eating, walking, listening to the bell, and even using the toilet. Not just sitting meditation. And walking does not mean searching a place or looking for something. In every one of us, there is the tendency to run. There is the belief that happiness is not possible in the here and now. So that we have the tendency to run into the future in order to look for happiness. And after day by day, running has become a habit. And many of us have been running all our lives. And the practice of walking meditation helps us stop running and see that everything we have been looking for is here. When our mind is focused on breathing and walking, we are unifying body, speech, and mind, and we are already at home. And we can recognize more easily beauties all around us, the greenery of the trees, the sunshine, or the presence of our loved ones. And then we can be nourished by these wonderful conditions because we realize that we are not alone in this world. So I ask permission to stand up. So when we walk, our in-breath tends to be a bit shorter than our out-breath. And when we breathe in, take 2 or 3 steps. And this is determined by our lungs. If our lungs want 2 steps, then give 2 steps. And if we feel better with 3 steps, then give ourselves 3 steps. And when we breathe out, we also listen to our lungs and let them determine how many steps we make as breathing out. And for me, I feel comfortable to take 2 steps as I breathe in and take 3 steps as I breathe out. In, out, out, out. In, out, out, out. So we walk and breathe naturally. We don't need to control the breath and the steps. If our in-breath or out-breath is long or short, let it be long or short. Don't force it or make it longer or shorter. We just be aware that our breath and our step are working in harmony. And we relax our whole body and walk gently. And in another way, we can practice walking meditation by using words. Breathe in, take 2 steps, and say to ourselves, I have arrived. I have arrived. And breathe out, take 3 steps, and say to ourselves, I am home. I am home. I am home. Arrived. Arrived. Home. 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 Arrive. Arrive. Home. 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 And this is not a statement. This is a practice. Arrive in the here and the now. And make a strong determination to stop, not to run anymore. And in the first time of the practice, some of us may find it difficult to come back to the breath. We can just be aware of the contact between the feet, our feet, and the ground. When we walk, we can feel the hardness of the floor or the road or the bedboard under our feet, or we feel the softness of the grass under our feet while we're walking. And we are aware of the movement of our body, of our legs. So the awareness of breathing and walking help us to become calm and balanced. And there are things that arise in our mind while we're walking. We only recognize it, smile to it, and come back to follow our breathing and our walking. And as I already shared in the practice of sitting meditation, our emotions, our mental formations come to us like cloud, like the wind. We don't need to push them away or suppress our emotions or our mental formation. We just observe them as they arise by anchoring our mind in mindful breathing and mindful walking. And if we don't continue to breathe consciously or be aware of our step, sooner or later our thoughts and emotions will come back and pull us away. And the tree, the sunshine, or the presence of our loved ones will disappear. So please try to apply the practice walking meditation in our daily life. it is possible to enjoy every step we make, not during walking meditation, but at any time. Whenever we need to move from one place to another place, no matter how short the distance, whenever we walk from the bedroom to the bathroom, or the kitchen to the toilet, or the door of the parking lot, we can practice walking meditation. And so mindful walking and mindful breathing bring us back to the present. And in this moment, we are able to experience the true home in the here and the now. And I hope that you can apply it in your daily life. Thank you. And now my brother will continue to share about our next practice.
Thank you, dear sister, for your beautiful sharing. It was very inspiring seeing people practicing walking meditation right away while the sister was explaining the practice. And I thought, yeah, this is right, because the practice is not a wish. It's something that we really need to try to apply and to put in practice. And so thank you for trying out. And one of the questions that normally comes during a retreat or while we are going to join a retreat is, what is the aspiration that is bringing you to the retreat? This is normally sometimes at the first Dharma sharing session, this is the question that sometimes the facilitator is asking us. It's a very beautiful opportunity for us to share so we can connect and understand from where we are coming from. Because I think in our tradition, the experience is to create a group and to go through things together. And but every time I receive that question, the answer that it comes very naturally for me is, I'm going to that retreat to rest, to stop and rest. And the people think that I'm lazy because I don't want to do much. But actually, I feel for me, stop and resting is not a wish. It's actually it's something we have to practice if we want to really stop, because it's not just stopping the body, just as we are doing now, just sitting, and it's also try to stop the thinking of the mind, or reduce, or becoming aware of our mind that is thinking. And to do that, we have to practice. So to allow ourselves to enter in a space of rest, peace, where there is calm, so it should not stay just as a wish. We have to really put some practice in action in order to get and to create that space for us. And so during this retreat, we will have a lot of activities that we are going to share together. But unfortunately, there was no the opportunity to have meals together. But as a community here, we will practice mindful eating, and so normally we have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and also these moments of the day, these activities, they can be an opportunity for us to practice stopping and resting. And I just forgot to share that when we are able to stop and rest, we are also creating space for healing, transformation, and insight to manifest as well. So even the people think I'm lazy. Every time I share, I'm going to the retreat just to rest and to stop and rest. I think I'm creating a condition, a basic condition for more things to happen. And mindful meals, I'm saying well, meals. Mindful meals is also an opportunity for us to practice stopping and resting. And getting in touch with what we are doing in that specific moment. And so normally the way we eat in Deer Park, in our monasteries, in our tradition, so we, after we serve our food, we sit on the table and we read the 5 contemplation. And I guess the 5 contemplation are available for you online. So you may like to choose one of the meal, or breakfast, or lunch, or dinner, the one that is more convenient for you, the one that maybe you have more time to do that practice. And may you like to read the contemplation before start eating. And really try to allow these 5 contemplation to really stay with you. So while you are reading it, or someone else is reading it for you, you can really allow yourself to be fully present for this text that is has been read, and allow this contemplation to sink in your consciousness. And this is a watering, and watering our consciousness, watering our seeds of mindfulness, of compassion, awareness. And sometimes the practice is just to water, and so we can allow ourselves to enter in this space of being fully present for what we are going to do, for these contemplations. And after the contemplation are read, we can start enjoying eating. And so the normal habit that we have while we are eating is to eat quite quick and fast. So we don't even finish to chew what we have in our mouth, that we already start to put something else. And so maybe the practice that we would like to offer you for these coming days is in the coming meals, whenever you find yourself in this space of eating, during this activity, you can allow yourself to chew the food that you are chewing as much as possible, and really to get in touch with the taste of the food that you are eating. And just allow yourself to do that practice and to really get in touch with the food, and get in touch with yourself, with the taste of the food, and to make the experience very real. And I guess our practice is to make things that we are doing become them very real, and to have a real experience of what we are doing. And that is possible just if we do our best to be there. And we already share about mindful breathing, and mindful breathing is an amazing tools that we have all the time in order to reestablish that quality of presence. And is an amazing tools to allow ourselves to really experience what we are doing. And when we are able to do that, we feel nourished not just by the food, but by joy, by happiness, and looking deeply in the food that we are eating, we can also have a lot of insights and see the interbeing nature of everything that is in front of us, and see in the piece of carrot, of broccoli, or whatever we are going to eat, see how much effort has been done in order for this piece of food to be in front of us, so we can also feel grateful to have the food that we are having. Another things that we do often is take for granted everything that is in front of us or available. But if we stop and we look deeply in the nature of all these things, we see how much effort has been done for these things to be there. So if we see that, we can really start to really appreciate deeply everything that we do. And so mindful eating is an amazing practice that we can try to apply in the coming days. And for me personally, again, I'm Italian, and in Italy we like to eat a lot, and we like to cook. I remember spending a lot of time with my grandma, making fresh pasta every Sunday morning. So for me also, it's not just eating, also cooking is a moment of joy, moment of connection with my family members and with the people I'm cooking for. And also in the community, I feel fortunate enough to have still the possibility to cook for the community. And yeah, just while I'm cooking, I'm also thinking that I'm going to offer this to my siblings, to my community. This is also a sense of happiness and feeling that I'm contributing to the happiness of others as well, hopefully, if I don't burn the food while I'm cooking. So there is the part of eating, but also maybe many of you in the coming days will also cook. And so also while we are cooking, we can take the time to really be present while we are chopping what we are chopping, or whatever we will cook. We can really be present for also during the process of cooking. And yeah, I'm aware also the time is passing by quite fast. So we have a few more topics to share with you. So I'm passing the mic to my sister. She is going to share a few more practice that we can do together in the coming days, and maybe we can listen one sound of the bell first.
So, dear community, now I would like to continue to share about the basic practice. One of basic practice that listening to the bell. So there are many kinds of sounds in our daily lives, and sometimes we need a sound to remind us to come back to ourselves. And the sound of the bell is one kind of sound that can really help us to do this. And in Plum Village or other practice center in our tradition, we stop whenever we hear the telephone ringing, the clock chiming, or the activity bell. And there are many kinds of bells in our monastery. So when we hear the sound of the bell, we stop talking and stop moving. And we relax our whole body and become aware of our breathing. And we do it naturally with enjoyment, with our stiffness. Sometimes our mind is maybe at home, but we are not truly home. Our mind is elsewhere, right? So when we hear the sound of the bell, it reminds us to come back to the present moment. And when we hear the sound of the bell, it's as if someone who is calling us, come back to yourself. Come home, my child. Come home to yourself. Come home to life. And that's why we consider the bell to be like a friend that helps us to wake up ourselves again. And when we hear the sound of the bell, we can recite the poem listen, listen, this wonderful sound brings me back to my true home. And when we breathe in, we say to ourselves, listen, listen, and breathe out. This wonderful sound brings me back to my true home. And listen, listen means to listen with all our heart as we breathe in. And my true home is here and now. Our true home is life. And so now I would like to invite all of you to practice with brother and sister here. Please sit upright beautifully and relax our whole body and enjoy one sound of the bell. And in this moment, we just be aware of our body, be aware of our breath, and we don't need to think about anything. Just enjoy the sound of the bell. So I said that we can choose a sound to remind us to come back to the present moment. So at home, we can use the telephone ringings as our bells of mindfulness. So normally when the phone rings, the telephone rings, it creates in us a kind of vibration, maybe some anxieties, right? We don't know who is calling us, and is it good news or bad news? And there is a force that pulls us to the telephone, and we cannot resist, and we can become a victim of our own telephone. And if we talk on the phone without awareness, we can be carried away by our emotions, our anger or jealousy or sadness. And that's why our relationship can be difficult and leading to misunderstanding. That's why the next time when our phone rings, we should stay exactly where we are and become aware of our breathing. We breathe with 3 rings of the phone and then pick up the phone. And if we know how to enjoy breathing, and then after 3 in breaths and 3 out breaths, our mind will be calmed, serene, and mindful before we talk on the phone with others. And another way, some of us may like to program a bell of mindfulness into our computer, so that every 15 or 30 minutes, we have an opportunity to stop working, listening to the bell, and come back to enjoy our breathing. So Thầy, our teacher, also advises us that every house should have a room that called the breathing room, or at least a corner of a room reserved for this purpose. And in that corner, we can put a small low table with a flower or little bell and a cushion to sit on. And in the morning before going to work or to school, we may like to sit down and enjoy the sound of the bell by ourselves. But when the whole family comes together and breathe in and out, it creates a wonderful kind of energy and presents everyone. And when the whole family breathes together, and the energy, so the energy of mindfulness and peace can be very powerful, healing and nourishing. And during the day, when we have feelings that are not enough peaceful, if there is anger, sadness, or stress, we can invite the bell to sound so that we can breathe and relax, and our emotions will be calmed. So the sound of the bell only takes 10 or 20 seconds to help us restore our presence, and then we can offer our the quality of being to ourselves and others, to our loved ones. That is the practice of listening to the bell, and you can use any sound to apply it in our daily life. And the next and my last sharing, I would like to share about touching the earth. So usually after sitting meditation, we will touch the earth 3 times. And each movement we make in touching the earth has meaning. We don't just practice the form, we practice the meaning. And touching the earth is a deep communication. When we join our palms and stand in front of the altar, the Buddha or the teachers, it does not mean that we pray for peace and happiness or beg an object outside to come and take away our suffering or difficulties. And the Buddha or the teachers represent a kind of energy of love and awareness. And when we look at the image of the Buddha and Jesus, it reminds us that in each of us also has the seed of love, of awareness, of understanding. And so we are also children of the earth. Even the Buddha or Jesus are also children of the earth. And we are manifested from the earth. And when we die, she takes us back into her arms. And with the earth, we feel safe. And she has been here for a long time. So at the moment we join our palms and become aware of our breathing, we bring our body and mind back to the present moment and prostrate. And we get in touch with the energy of peace and solidity from our blood ancestor, from our spiritual ancestor, and from the earth. And when we touch the earth, we join our palm beautifully. It means that we are now fully concentrated. And when we breathe in, we bring our hand to our forehead, and then down to, I think that I would like to invite my Sister Tang Kusu, please come up here again to demonstrate about the practice of touching the earth. It's clear for you. Can you see and do it? So when we stand, we are aware of our whole body. We can come back to follow our breathing, and we can keep a smile on our lips. Smile and relax our whole body. And when we join our palms and breathe in, we bring our hands to our forehead and then down to our heart. Breathe out. We open our palms and kneel down slowly and touch the earth. Then we turn up our hands in a gesture of openness. And when we touch the earth, our abdomen touch our knees. And some of us may be difficult. At that time, we can open our knees a little wider so that our abdomen is not pressed. And in this position, we breathe in and breathe out 3 times. And then Stand up slowly. And now she will do again with the sound of the bell. We take refuge in the earth, take refuge in the ancestors. And when we hear a wake up bell, we stand up slowly. Thank you, sister. So that action is going back to our true home. We come back to take refuge in the energy of love and understanding, the energy of peace and solidity from our ancestor and from the earth. And before the earth, before our ancestor, we don't need to hide anything. We release the notion that we are a good or not good person. And before the earth, we are a child of the earth. We are a child of our ancestor, and they will embrace us, nourishes us, and helps us transform our suffering. And by doing so, we can be healed and restore our balance. And if the touching of the earth session has a task, 3 sounds of the bell will be invited first, and during the 3 sounds of the bell, standing, and we come back to our breathing and join our palms and listen to read the text of the touching the earth, and we let those words penetrate into our body and mind and help us transform. And then the sound of the bell will be invited, and we practice touching the earth like my sister already demonstrate. So maybe tomorrow morning after sitting meditation, we will practice it. So thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, sister. And again, I was seeing people practicing touching of the earth while she was explaining. Very inspiring again. And so we get to the point of sharing the last practice for this session, and knowing that in the coming days there will be more teachings and more beautiful things to learn. And yeah, for this session now we are going to share the last practice that we would like to offer to you for the coming days. And I feel very lucky to have met Thai and to be his disciple, because I feel Thai have gave to his students so much tools, so much way to come back to oneself, and to nourish the energy of mindfulness, and to nourish in the energy of peace, stability, freshness, understanding what is happening. So I feel Thai gave us so much tools to apply it in order to do all of this. And one of the tools one of the practice that we are practicing in our monastery is also noble silence. And so normally at the end of the day and the early morning, we just try to protect kind of this space where we can have a more intimate connection with ourselves. So during the day, we often find ourselves in conversations, in doing a lot of stuff, working, and a lot of activities, which is very beautiful and needed. And we have practices also to be present for all of that. But at the end of the day, especially for me, it's just nice to have this space of silence, where we try also not to talk much unless it's very needed, in order to, to let all the activities of the day and the inner movements that these activities have created during the day within ourselves, just to slowly sink or kind of, and become less strong. And recently, before coming to Deer Park, I went for a short home visit, quite few weeks, and so during the home visit in Italy, I had opportunity to go to visit one of my dearest friends, and Fabrizio is. I used to be very close to this friend of mine, and so every time I go back to Italy, I will take opportunity to visit and to nourish the connection as well. And he loves music, and the day when we met, when we saw each other, he introduced me this album, which the title of the album was very catchy for me, because the title of the album is "I Need to Start a Garden." And I thought, this is an interesting topic. I would like to explore and to see what these artists have to share. And it is interesting because in one of the songs, I was reading the lyrics. This artist is sharing, after experiencing a lot of intensity, this need of starting a garden in the backyard of her house. And for me, I find it quite funny because also in Plum Village, we try to cultivate that space and quite, because sometimes in life can become quite intense, and so we need also to balance the intensity with another space, which the artist was sharing the garden in the backyard of the house, which I like the image. He didn't share about the garden in front of the house where there is traffic jam and the back garden. And I think, if I want to translate, if I try to translate in Plum Village language, is the island within is a garden that is even not in the backyard house, but is within ourselves. So I think it's very beautiful, and if we can find a time and space to reconnect with that garden within ourselves, so we don't need to be home and go to the backyard garden in order to find the space, because that space is always available within ourselves if we are able to find it and nourish it. And so noble silence for me is an opportunity to come back to oneself and not get distracted in conversation unless it's needed, and really step in that inner space, the inner garden, and nourish it. In that inner garden, there is freshness, there is stability, there is peace. And for me, the practice of noble silence is try to find that space and to nourish it. And I think also nourishing peace and freshness is also a practice that we can apply during the day. And noble silence can be an opportunity for us to do that, and also stop doing. Just try to be. Just try to be how we feel in that moment. And maybe you can find a time after dinner before going to sleep. Maybe you can find the time, set the time to enter in this space. It can be after 9:30 p.m. Just suggestions. Just when is appropriate time for you. And we in the monastery, we have at 9:30. We try to step in the space of noble silence, and just nourish that intimate space within ourselves, and allow things to settle down, so we can go to sleep in peace without having these inner movements. And I think this is it was the last practice that we wanted to share with you for this session. I don't know if the organizing team have something to share or some? No, seems like okay, they are coming. So there will be some. Yeah, there will be some announcement from the organizing team. And so thank you so much for being there to have to be part of this retreat. It's very moment of joy and happiness for all of us to see so many people coming and join from wherever you are, and knowing that even if we are far, our presence is very real, and the connection is very real. And so there is a lot of hope and wish for these coming days together. Hope of transformation, healing, and building new connection among each other. So thank you so much, and I wish you a beautiful retreat. So we can listen 3 sound of the bell, and the announcement will they will arrive after the 3 sound of the bell.